1. We are live. What is going on, everyone? Thank you all so very much for being here. Everyone that's tuning in at this time, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Anybody that's watching this on the replay, really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. What's going on, Jake? How are you?
I would say I'm better, but some disappointing news over the weekend. We did get,
Yes.
but you know what?
Mr. Kyrie. Well, I mean, let's dive right into that. That's where we can start. And then we'll talk about plan Bs and stuff that the Lakers are doing. But so obviously by now, I'm sure most, if not everybody, is aware that the Lakers did not land Kyrie Irving. That Kyrie Irving ended up getting traded to Dallas. Lakers put together a package. Basically, it looks like they were willing to give up pretty much whatever.
Exactly.
But Joe Tsai, the owner of the Nets, basically said no. I'm not trading Kyrie where he wants to go. I'm not trading him to the Lakers. So therefore, it was anywhere but the Lakers. Now,
Smart
Dallas
man, because he knows they would have won the championship.
Oh yeah, I mean it was just pettiness. I mean, look, he has the right to trade Kyrie wherever he wants, or wherever he wants to trade him. He doesn't have to trade Kyrie where Kyrie wants to go. Dallas is taking a real gamble here, but in reality, it is kind of a win-win for Dallas.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think Luka and Kyrie are really going to work, and we can dive into that to ourselves because I'd like to hear your thoughts on it as well. But to kind of like put everything in perspective is that so they made this deal, they made this trade, and they gave up a 2029 first round pick. They gave up a 2029 second round pick. They gave up a couple more second round picks, and then Spencer Dinwiddie and Finney Smith, right? Dorian Finney Smith. So not a lot as people thought, not as much as people thought. I mean, even the Clippers put together a better package than that. But what this did,
or what was offered, that's why I was like, it's a weird deal. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. What it did is it, for Dallas's perspective, it did a couple things. One is that got them another star next to Luka, which has always been a big question. Can another star fit next to Luka? Secondly, what it did is it cleared cap space if Kyrie decides to leave. So before this Kyrie trade, the Dallas Mavericks were essentially stuck. They have a 500 team, a team that can't win without Luka. They're 0-7 on the year without Luka. And it was becoming a real sort of issue, and they didn't really have a way out. So now you get Kyrie. If it works, great. You give Kyrie that extension, you max him out, and then all is right. If it doesn't work, then you can let Kyrie go, and now you have you have enough money to get to a full max deal if you need to, or you can, or if Kyrie, let's say Kyrie he doesn't want to be a Laker, he wants to leave, then same thing. You still have a full max deal. So there are still a lot of thoughts that Kyrie is going to leave in the offseason. And then, maybe the Lakers get him, maybe some other team gets him, although it would be kind of tough for the Lakers to get him in the offseason. You'd basically have to renounce everything and everyone, and Kyrie would have to take a discount. But maybe Kyrie would be okay with that because he'd probably make more money in brand deals, endorsements, stuff like that. So that's something to think of too. This Dallas experiment is going to be very interesting because, I mean, immediately after it was done, a ton of reports came out that hey, this is very likely going to be 3-4 month rental by the Dallas Mavericks, which could make sense. But what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Well, I'm curious to know from one, was the original intention to make it like a playoff type thing to make sure they get some playoffs and to really make a run for the title, because obviously we know the Mavericks aren't taking this year. Like you said, they're a 500 team. So for the Mavericks, it just begs me to ask the question, what is their? I mean, obviously, I think their goal is a champion, but if they're just trying to the trade to me just was weird. I did not expect Dallas out of all teams to pick up Kyrie. I think before we get too much with him playing with Luka, I think it was a weird trade. I don't necessarily agree with kind of them stopping him from going to LA, because at the end of the day, it sucks. You know what I mean? Like you said, it was pettiness, not wanting to give Kyrie what he wanted, but it was also smart too on his behalf, because he knew that if Kyrie were to go to Lakers, they were pretty much you almost were, I feel like, handing the Lakers to a key to a golden door and saying, "Here's your Western Conference Finals championship." That's it. I know. I don't get me wrong. My head could be in the clouds, but realistically, that would be a very strong possibility.
Yeah.
Um, no, I think in the rumors, like they wanted Max Christie, AR, 2 first rounds, and Hachimura. Like they were asking for, they were kind of asking for the farm in
Yeah.
in kind of in so many ways.
It was a lot.
Now, would I have given up like Max Christie, like AR, 2 first rounds? I don't know that I would have traded that for Kyrie. I don't think so. That I think they were asking for too much. So the
Look,
Lakers.
I don't think so. You couldn't even trade Rui. So like the reports that came out that like the Nets wanted Rui, Max, AR, and 2 first doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Well, I
Like,
understand everything else except for Hachimura. I need that explained because I don't
they can't
understand.
even trade Rui, even if they
Well, that's what I
wanted
was gonna
to.
say. That's what I was gonna say. I don't think his contract allowed it. But
I don't think. Look, if the Lakers could have gotten a deal done for Austin Reeves, Max Christie, and 2 firsts, I guarantee you the Lakers would have done it. Like they would have done it. They're not going to let Max Christie and AR go be the difference in them getting Kyrie or not. Now, I have done it? Probably not. At least, I mean, maybe one of them, but not both of them plus firsts.
you
But
just gave
look,
up a
if it
future
was
star, a key component, and your 2 first round for what I mean. Don't get me
yes,
wrong. It's
if it
freaking
was
Kyrie
like
Irving we're
Russ,
talking about, but like
yeah, if it was Russ, Max Christie, let's say it was Russ, Max Christie, and 2 firsts, I think they would have done the deal without a doubt. Without a doubt. Like they're not going to let Max Christie be the difference in that deal. But I think that they knew, just like everyone else, that like they're not going to trade us. They're not going to trade us Kyrie Irving. It's not happening. And so it's like, what's the point? Why are you going to do that?
yeah.
So that's the difference here is just that. But it's unfortunate. It sucks. It would have been nice to get Kyrie. We were all kind of envisioning like the Kyrie, AD, LeBron just game. Like that would have been beautiful. But look, the Lakers can't stop. It happened. You lost Kyrie. Maybe you get him in the offseason, maybe you don't, but you can't wait around and hope that happens.
No.
You've had several opportunities to get him, and it hasn't worked out in any of them. So now at this point, it's like, okay, what's next? What's the next move? What are you going to do? How are you going to approach this? Kyrie in Dallas, I really don't think it's going to work. Luka, look, I don't think Kyrie has any problem being the second fiddle. He was the second fiddle with LeBron. He was the second fiddle with KD. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think he has a problem being the second fiddle, but Luka is such a high usage rate player. He's one of the highest usage rates ever, one of the most ball dominant players ever. And so
him and James Harden.
The way that the team is structured in Dallas, one, they have zero defense. So like Dallas, I don't see Dallas doing anything this year. I don't think Kyrie makes them. You can make an argument Kyrie might make them worse because they lost.
Well, that's what I was asking. What's their goal? Like, what was their goal in picking up Kyrie for a few months? You know what I mean? Like,
personally, I think this was just to clear cap space. I think this was if all else fails, we clear, a max contract and salary, right? If it works, great. If it works, then Kyrie. Now we got Kyrie and Luka for the next several years to build around and try to contend for a championship. If it doesn't work, who cares? Not a big deal. We would have had to probably give up a first anyway, and to try to maybe we could have gotten some pieces for it, but at the end of the day, we would have probably had to take on contracts. We would have had to take on pieces. But what piece are you going to get for Spencer Dinwiddie that makes sense for Dallas? The way they're looking at it is, hey, we unload these guys. We give up a first round pick in 2029. That means nothing to us because we got Luka now for the next, hopefully 7 to 10 years. Like it's you worry about the 2029 pick when it happens. You lost a couple seconds, not a big deal, right? Spencer Dinwiddie, they already weren't really big on. They also they would have had to extend Spencer Dinwiddie the following season.
Yeah.
So, it's like if Spencer Dinwiddie isn't a piece that you're planning for the future, then and you're not going to get some nice return package for Spencer Dinwiddie. It's not going to happen. So the way they look at it is, yeah, we lose Spencer Dinwiddie. Yeah, we lose Finney Smith, which sucks. But at the end of the day, we get Kyrie. If it works, we re-sign him. If it doesn't, we cleared all this cap space to now retool and build around Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Problem is that how well does that work with Luka being so ball dominant and the team structure? The team is structured right now on Luka dominating the ball and making all the plays. They don't have another playmaker. Problem is that Kyrie, he's an incredible talent, but he's not a real playmaker. He's not a let me go get 10 assists type guy. He's an incredible scorer and incredible talent, but they still lack that playmaker to kind of put it all together. And what, Kyrie, 90% of the game is just going to be relegated to a spot-up three-point shooter? Like, what? How are you going to operate that?
I'll tell you exactly how it's going to operate. They're going to go that whole you go, I go, right? So that Kevin Durant.
That's exactly how it's going to
go. Yeah, that Kevin Durant and Russ. That like, but when you do that, when you play basketball like that, the ball sticks a lot and it doesn't move around. And when the ball doesn't move around, other players get cold. Yeah. Other players get cold. You don't have a fluid offense, right? That's why there's a reason that the Spurs offense works so well. I mean, not right now, but back in the Pop's heyday when he, was winning the championships, the Golden State offense, because it's so fluid and the ball gets passed around so much. But the reason I think that they were thinking Luka is going to work with Kyrie is because in so many respects, he's like a LeBron without the high usage, right? So like he's not the playmaker like LeBron, right? He doesn't have the vision like LeBron, but in terms of what he's able to kind of put together the offense. But that's my thing though. He's a more ball dominant LeBron, right? You know what I mean? Obviously, he doesn't have the skill set for it, but he's like I said, he's LeBron. I think they were thinking that he was going to work just like how those two would fit seamlessly. But the reason I feel like it won't work is because, like you said, they both need the ball in their hands, right? To kind of make a play, to kind of make it happen, and that's why I feel like I said, it's going to be a you go, I go type scenario. I just don't. I don't know. I don't think you can win championships like that anymore. Like I've never
even crunch time. Like right now, last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter is all Luka. It's Luka either making a shot or divvying it up to somebody else, or Luka with his little step back three. That's all their offense in the tail end of games. Well, now you have Kyrie, and Kyrie is arguably one of the best closers we've seen. I mean, the guy's hit game-winning shots in an NBA Finals. The guy's won championships. The guy has been around.
He's a great closer for sure.
Yeah, so
he hit one of the best shots of all time on Steph.
Yeah, I mean, you're down 5 with say 2 minutes left. Is Luka really going to let Kyrie hit those shots? Where if he was with the Lakers, right? For example, it's simple. LeBron, hey, you're our closer. Go win this game for us. If you need me, I'll do it. If I'm open, I'll take the shot. If I can, I'll drive and kick. But it's the same thing we saw last time Kyrie and LeBron were together. LeBron would allow Kyrie to be the guy to close and hit the shots.
He's the better closer, absolutely.
I don't know if Luka's gonna do that. And Kyrie is the better closer.
Well, Luka's not that good of a closer. Absolutely, yeah.
Kyrie is a better natural shooter, a better natural scorer. He's arguably one of the greatest finishers we've ever seen around the rim. So Kyrie makes the most sense to be in those positions to close and finish those games. Problem is, I don't know how much Luka's going to allow him to do that. And so I really think, and I could be wrong. Look, I had big egg on my face when it came to the Kyrie thing because I was preaching and saying Kyrie's come to Lakers because he was. It looked like it was done.
No, me too. Trust me, I was confident. I was like, we're gonna wake up and we're gonna see Kyrie has been traded to the Lakers.
I was like, oh man, this is great. We're gonna land Kyrie. It's gonna all be beautiful, and we still might. It just becomes a lot trickier now, and it becomes something like the big thing that people say is why would Kyrie take the discount? He was going to with the Nets. He wanted to leave the Nets regardless. If the Nets didn't trade him and tried to play hardball, 1, he was going to sit out. 2, he he would have walked, right? So he would have
Yeah.
lost the money anyway. And 3, we have seen on multiple occasions throughout his career that if he wants to do something, he doesn't care about the money.
It's not about the money with him. It's really not. It's about
It's not.
proving a point, and at some extent, it's about winning, depending on where he's at in
Yeah.
his career. Like in Cleveland, it was all about winning. But when he after
Oh,
after he left
absolutely.
after he left Cleveland, it was all about proving a point and
Yeah.
just yeah. And I think with that, with this particular Brooklyn Nets situation, I think it was going to be just that. He was going to prove a point, even if that like meant him like having to walk or however.
Oh, absolutely. And like Kyrie, Kyrie's too unpredictable. You never know what Kyrie's end goal is, what his thinking, how he's going to approach things, all that stuff. And I just think ultimately, I think if push comes to shove, I think he would leave to go, even if it's not the Lakers, go elsewhere. Like if Luka and him aren't working, which my other problem is too, is they only have like 2 more months to figure it out. Like literally, they
Yeah.
got like they have to figure it out ASAP, and
And it's
I don't
dangerous
know.
because they're gonna get to the playoffs for
I
sure. We
still
know
don't
this.
think they win anything this year. I like they're probably gonna score 125, 130 a game, no doubt. But they're probably gonna give up 150 a game. So it's like, they're probably still gonna lose a bunch of games. It's probably gonna be clunky. It's probably gonna be awkward at times. I mean, look at Jalen Brunson as a great example. Jalen Brunson next to Luka Doncic was a 11 point per game guy. And he was looking like he was going to get, a $8 million a year contract. Luka Doncic gets hurt. Jalen Brunson is the only guy there now. And immediately in a 9-game stretch or whatever it was, people were like, oh, this dude can play. This guy's good. This
Yeah.
guy's like a 20 point per game guy, right? And look, he gets his max contract. He goes to the Knicks, and he's proved that this whole season that, hey, I'm a 20 plus point a game guy. I'm a guy that could, score on all 3 levels. I'm that guy. But he wasn't able to be that guy because Luka is so ball dominant. So he was just kind of there. He was just kind of another guy. There's no way Kyrie's just going to be another guy. Kyrie doesn't have a problem being second, but is he going to be just another, just complimentary? Oh, like, yeah, I'm just going to stand here in the corner and just shoot threes all game. Like, I don't see that being the case. I don't.
No, you can't put Kyrie on any team in the NBA. He can play that role just because he's too great of an asset. Like to let
Yeah.
Kyrie sit in the corner or to try to minimize him to playing a role to a corner 3 specialist, like what? Like you said, like his finishing ability is crazy. I would say we haven't seen a player that even comes close to being able to finish how Kyrie. And don't get me wrong, there's been some great finishers at the
Yeah.
rim, but no, I agree with you. Like he's not a role player. He is either the number 1 guy on the team or he's the number 2. And you cannot give me a team which he's played on where that has not been the case. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's been a single team that he's played on where he's been like the number 3 option. He's either number 1 or number 2. And
Yeah.
it's just it's gonna suck really because it's gonna be like I said, they're gonna have to take turns. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like
Yeah.
him and Durant or whatever. Like they're just gonna have to like go back and forth. But
Going to
it
be the
sucks.
you go, I go
It
thing.
sucks. And I hate watching this type of basketball just because it's like I get it. They're so star heavy, but it's like, dang, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, it's not gonna be a good situation for him. I don't think.
Well, the fit with the Lakers would have been nice too, because one, LeBron's going to get the scoring title in the next like 3-4 days or whatever, right? And once he gets the scoring title, it'd be easy for him to just now go play the
Yeah.
Magic Johnson role,
Mhm.
right? Like I got the scoring title, I don't need to go score 40 a game. Let Kyrie and AD feast. Let them do the bulk of the offense. I'm still going to get my 20 a game just because I'm LeBron James and I'm that smart and that talented. I'm still going to get my 20 a game. Kyrie can get his 30. AD can get his 30. I'll be primed and ready. We'll get into the playoffs. Come playoff time. Now, if they need me, the beast is back and we're ready to go.
But
You
how
know,
dangerous is that though? Think about how dangerous that really is. Like you just said, letting a LeBron James having 2 like crutches, if you will, that he can stand on, that he can kind of rest off the course of games, and then still like reserve his energy. He doesn't have to like literally score the majority of points. Every time he's been in that situation on teams where he's at like a 1, maybe 1.5 option to like lean on, they won championships. So I'm just like, could you imagine like that would just be scary. That's why I think we have AD now. To get another piece like Kyrie would be nice. Again, I don't want to star chase, but if we got
Yeah, I
another
don't either.
piece, yeah, if we got another piece like Kyrie, that's why Kyrie made like that's like the only star that I was like, okay. And I said it from the very beginning, like let's go get Kyrie just because it makes sense. Because if you can give LeBron just two solid options on his starting lineup, it's a dangerous situation. Like you know what I mean? He's gonna get you to at least a
Yeah,
midway, playoff run. So like I just don't. We don't have those choices
oh,
out there
absolutely.
right now. There's no one out there right now that we could go and be like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and snatch him up. Not before the season ends. There's no one out there that Bradley Bill's not going to come and be our saving grace. You know what I
Look,
mean? So it's just
I've preached. I mean, we both have preached depth, right? Get depth. We don't star chase. Get several pieces to come help the team.
yeah,
Um, I still absolutely feel that way, but
same.
the reason I the reason I would have been okay with Kyrie as that star, one, his impact is bigger than Zach LaVine. It's bigger than Bradley Beal. Secondly, he works with LeBron James,
Yeah,
right? Like the question with like a Bradley Beal, the question with Zach LaVine, one, can they stay healthy? Two, are they okay being, a second, third fiddle? Three, would they work well next to LeBron James? All of those questions have already been answered with Kyrie. So
yeah,
Kyrie coming to the Lakers, it would have been there wouldn't have been that figuring out period. Maybe a little bit because of AD, but
yeah,
for the most part, Kyrie and LeBron would have immediately. It would have been like
yeah,
they never left.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I agree.
you would have already had your built-in chemistry, your
Yeah,
built-in, you know, uh, just teamwork, like all of
yeah.
the camaraderie and stuff, the relationships, all of those things. That would have all been huge. But um, anyway, before we dive into the next segment, real quick, I appreciate all of you being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take a quick second, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 3K. We're only, 40, 50, or 52 subs away. So take a quick
What?
second, hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Hit the like button on this video. It really helps us out a lot. And let's get into the chat a little bit, and then we'll transition into Plan B options. My favorite trade is the Raptors trade. I really like the Raptors trade too. Red Van Vliet's face, making it look like he should be a Chucky boy. It feels off. Uh, what deal would you do if you had to choose? To me, it comes down to cost. Like which deal is the cheapest, I guess. But let's say all deals were equal price. I probably do either the Raptors deal for Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent, or maybe the Hornets deal if you get the full package with Terry Rozier, PJ Washington, Kelly Oubre, Gordon Hayward, because I think that also gives you some really nice flexibility.
Yeah,
Gordon Hayward becomes an expiring contract next season, all that stuff. So those would probably be the two. I really like the rumored Utah deal. I think that that's another good one. And per Shams, they can do that for one first, but we'll dive into those the other deals here in a moment. Raptors deal is a good one. I agree. Nets one and Rui, Max, AR, and 2 first. Yeah, which is insane if that was the case. Just heard about a 3-team trade with LA Pistons, Sixers, Tobias Harris, and Forkin Cosbas is his name. Would come back to LA without giving up a first rounder. It's a far stretch if it actually happens, but it's possible. Yeah, I saw like some little tweet or whatever about
interesting.
it. I don't really know where that came from. I mean, it's some like, who is it? I
It's kind of
was
out of the
planning on
blue.
talking about it briefly. It was Doc Laurelin, probably said his name wrong. But yeah, he made a tweet about that. I don't really think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Tobias Harris wouldn't be terrible, but like there's a lot of questions with him and his fit and just his shooting. I mean, when he's on, he's on. But can he consistently do that? And defensively, he's a little bit of a work. And what are you going to move LeBron to the 3 now? I don't really know about that. You do get a decent shooter, but but and Tobias Harris would be an expiring contract next season, so
Yeah.
you'd have Tobias Harris and your 2 firsts to maybe make a move, but it's not my favorite. I would rather give up. I'd rather give like if Utah's really is willing to take 1 first, I would rather give 1 first and go do the Utah deal than
Yeah.
give up no first and get Tobias Harris and Korsmaz. Unless they want to take Tobias Harris in the hope that Kyrie does come, then maybe they could use the expiring contract in a deal, but to kind of maybe unload to like the Spurs or something and give up both first and just get a trade exception or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not really sold on it, if I'm being honest. After not getting Kai, I hope we can get Fred and Trent. I would love that. What chance do you think we have of getting those 2? Also, can we just do it now? If we wait until Thursday, they might be gone somewhere. So based on reports out of the Raptors camp, they're not going to talk any trades until like the day of or like the night before. So the Raptors are they want to finish the road trip, and they're not planning on doing any deal. So like the reason nobody's traded for Fred VanVleet, and there are a lot of teams that really want Fred VanVleet. The reason it hasn't gotten done yet, which I'm sure there are teams that would be more than happy to put in a package, is because Toronto's not looking to make a deal yet. So we'll see. Who are the Lakers shooting for? What trades are coming? What does Rob have in the works? That's the $1 million question, right?
Right.
Big question.
We learned that he's a little sneaky. He has, he keeps. I think he keeps his like trade ideas away from the public as best as possible.
Yeah, right. I've been waiting to wake up to a rush trade. Maybe tomorrow's the day. I hope so. I would love that. Anything on the Hornets Lakers trade? Nothing. The last we heard is that the Hornets still want Russell Westbrook. But as far as like traction towards that deal, I haven't heard anything. Anything on the Spurs deal? Same thing. There was talks of the Spurs maybe getting involved in the Kyrie trade, but since Kyrie has left and gone to Dallas, there hasn't been any like this might happen. What's going on, Snorlax? Can anyone offer the Raptors anything better than our 2 firsts for Fred and Gary? We can't miss out on them after not getting Kai. I think the odds of us getting Fred VanVleet are very slim, if I'm being honest. I really think we could get Gary Trent, but there's a lot of teams that want, like the Clippers want him, although we could put a better package together than the Clippers can. Although I think the Clippers would be willing to give up more, right? Like Steve Ballmer, he doesn't care. Do whatever, get the guy you want. So
that would answer their question though about the pass first point guard. I feel like he would fit better with the Clippers though.
He would. Fred VanVleet would fit better than Kyrie would. I mean, I'm not saying that he's a better player. I'm just talking about fit.
Yeah.
Is I think Fred VanVleet would be a better fit than Kyrie would be next to Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. But also the Orlando Magic. I mean, the Orlando Magic have treasure trove of stuff, right? Young talent, players, assets, everything. Like they even have like Chicago's firsts, like everything. Like unless Fred VanVleet is like, I want to go to the Lakers, which maybe he's now with Clutch. I wouldn't get super high on Fred VanVleet, if I'm being honest. It's probably something I should talk about on my channel too, is that, because I don't think I've really mentioned that. Pelinka works in silence. I trust him. But if he doesn't do a trade Thursday, he needs to go. Yeah, hopefully something gets done. We'll see. The Lakers need to make a trade for Fred VanVleet. Gary Trent, bottom line is we need guards who can score. Give them Pat Bev, Austin Reeves, Max Christie in the first round for both. No, you can't. You're not giving up all that. But I would love that. Irving can work in Dallas. The Nets team has a few glimpses with Harden and KD injuries likely cause them a championship. The thing is that KD is so efficient, and like KD can get you 30 a game on just like 15 shots. Like he's that efficient, right? So, and he's played with the Warriors, right? So he's played with Steph, Clay, like all these guys. He gets it. He understands it, right? He's willing to defer at times. Harden is a much more willing passer than Luka is. They both can put it up, but Harden has shown on several occasions he'll take a backseat scoring wise.
Right? Well, he had to switch his play style after he left Houston.
Yeah,
he really had to switch his play style.
He's done it in Philly. You know, he did it in OKC. Like that's the difference. Is Luka has never done that. Luka's always been the guy. Luka's always had the ball 99.99% of the time. It's a different scenario in my opinion. I'm not saying like there's no way it'll work. I just don't have a lot of hope that it works. And maybe it's some bias. I don't know, but I don't look at those two and go, man, that makes a lot of sense. And I was saying this before he was even traded. Like when Dallas came into the picture and they were like, Dallas is interested in Kyrie. I was like, why? That makes no sense. I can understand them wanting to get a star, but I don't think a star that needs the ball. Like you're better off. Like Kevin Durant, I think would be perfect next to Luka. Perfect.
Exactly.
I think Kevin Durant would be the perfect complement. Or like a Klay Thompson or something like that.
Yeah.
To where like he can be efficient, he can be effective. He's shoots great from the 3-point. Like that's what they need, not like a Kyrie who needs the ball to create. Like that's the difference. But
unless Luka's gonna change his play style, but
I don't know if he will. I'm not saying he won't. Maybe he does, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. Is the thing. But anyway, Golden Eagle coming in hot with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Russell Westbrook to the Bulls for Zach LaVine and Dalen Terry. Zach has a long-term deal with a lot of money, but he's the right age. What do you think? Personally, me and then Jake, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm not big on Zach LaVine. I really he hasn't played more than like 55 games in like several years. And I have concerns about his fit. It's just I'd rather go the depth route than Zach LaVine. Plus, you're stuck with this contract for a long time. So if it doesn't work, kind of screwed. I don't think you're going to be able to like get out of the Zach LaVine contract. Not that like you probably wouldn't have been able to get out of the Kyrie contract. But again, at least with Kyrie, he works with LeBron. So at least for this season and the next 2 seasons, you'll be okay. It's after LeBron leaves, which is the real concern. But I don't know. I personally wouldn't do it. I mean, if you could do it without giving up picks, which I don't see the Bulls doing that, maybe a first. Like if you could give up a first, then maybe like if they were just like, hey, we want to unload Zach LaVine's contract, we want to get out from underneath it. I think it would make sense. But also, if Zach LaVine came on the table, supposedly the way it was put was the Knicks would offer a Godfather package for Zach LaVine. And if that's true, then I mean the Knicks don't need to even add much to outbid us because we don't have a ton of assets. But yeah, they could easily go and get Zach LaVine if they wanted to. But what are your thoughts? Jake?
No, like listen, I think Zach LaVine is like he's a baller for sure, right? So I just do think there are a lot of other teams that he could benefit more on other than the Lakers. The idea of Dalen Terry, like what is he, 6'7"? He's young. He's just not even 21 yet. So like
it's more of a future
getting him for the height. Yeah, getting him for the height, getting him, to kind of be able to build and kind of groom and develop. Kind of like a Cam, right? Sort of like a long-term build on. Would it be a bad idea? But if I'm Zach LaVine, I'm not necessarily looking at the Lakers and thinking, oh my goodness, like that's a perfect fit for me, just because I think it might be a little clunky, just a little bit. And I don't know if that really is going to solve the issue of us, not being able to like make a deep run in the playoffs. But hey, we are LA, so like I said, the star chasing, they could have their eye on Zach LaVine and they'd be willing to bid heavy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either. But me personally, I don't want to do that one. Like I could see where the organization might be like, okay, you know what, that's a good, they might have their eye on it. But me personally, no, I wouldn't do it.
Well, thank you again, Golden Eagle. We really appreciate that. Let's power through a couple more, and then we'll dive into the second part of this. Thoughts on Austin Reeves and Damian Jones for Jared Vanderbilt? I think Austin Reeves is more of a need right now. Although I do really like Jared Vanderbilt, probably more than most people. I wouldn't hate it, but it's not my favorite thing, if I'm being honest. Nets are going to be in the finals this year. Cam Thomas is the real deal. I know he put up, what did he put up, like 47 or something? We don't need bigs at all. We got AD, Thomas Bryant, Rui, Winnie Gabriel, and LeBron. Yeah, I don't really like the Tobias Harris thing. Thank you so much, Daniel. We appreciate it. And hey, if you're watching this live stream, follow Daniel Sue. Hit that subscribe button. Take a quick second. We're 50 subscribers away from 3K. So take a quick second. Hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. Also, take a second. Hit that like button. It would mean a ton to us. If the Lakers can stay healthy and do the right trade, we can definitely make the playoffs. We just got to start winning. Agree. I mean, you make the right, you get a solid piece or two. I think the Lakers are right there. We obviously desperately a guard that can score. Agreed. That's why I think Gary Trent would be nice. Would you be pleased if all we do at the deadline is Patrick Beverley, Lonnie Walker, the fourth plus lottery protected for JTA? Like if that's all there is, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind it. You got your starting two guard. He's not Kyrie, but he gives you a lot of what Kyrie would have given you. Yeah. A guy that can score on all three levels, a guy that can just go get a bucket, a guy that can shoot off the dribble. Like we don't really have anybody like that. So yeah, absolutely, I wouldn't be upset about it at all. Yeah. Utah deals, not a good one. We don't need Vanderbilt. We have enough bigs. Anderson Conley don't score enough. You don't need a ton of scoring. You have, I mean, our trouble isn't scoring. Our trouble is closing 3-point percentage, which Beasley and Conley would help with.
Yeah.
And then Vanderbilt's just a great defensive piece. One of our biggest problems is perimeter defense. Vanderbilt solves a lot of that. Watch Vanderbilt play. Watch him defensively play. That guy covers so much ground defensively. It's insane. Like, I would love that deal, especially if it's only one first-round pick. It's really sad that our offense is only Braun and AD because when Braun and AD goes to the bench, we got to score a lot. We need offense and defense too. It would help. We just need more consistency from other guys. That's the problem. I am more impressed with Jake every time I watch these shows. Look at you getting a little compliment.
Thank you.
Very nice, Ryan. Tyler and Jake, my friends, a Clipper fan. And Clipper reporter said they're keeping an eye on AD because they might get him. Yeah, I don't see that happening at all. Look, teams do due diligence. Teams will, call and just be like, hey, just checking in. Are you planning on trading AD? If so, what are you looking to get for him type thing? It's just doing due diligence. I wouldn't put a lot of, if that was something out there. What did you feel after seeing the White Man Can't Jump trailer? I haven't seen it. Look, I saw you emailed it to me. I haven't had a chance to look at my email. I've been swamped. But I got to see it. I am not looking forward. White Man Can't Jump is one of my favorite movies ever. It might be up there as my favorite movie ever.
I don't know that I've ever seen this movie.
You've never seen White Man Can't Jump? Ooh, you got to see that movie immediately. That movie, I think that movie's, it's on Netflix or Amazon, one of those two.
If it's on Netflix, I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah, because I watched it the other day. It is such a good movie. Well, now they're doing a remake, which never goes well.
Is it number 2 or is it a remake?
It's a remake. The original had Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, and this one has Jack Harlow and some actor I don't know. Like, it's driving me crazy. Were Miles Leonard cousins after get practice on LA? I mean, they had their workout. After the workout, I don't really think anything developed. They must have not had a very good workout. Darvin Ham kind of seemed like it wasn't very good. He was just kind of like, they asked him about it. He's like, yeah, like they did good. Like, it was kind of one of those, like, yeah, they sucked, but I'm going to be nice.
I can't say that on national television.
Yeah. Jazz deal is the move. The Raptors were going to do anything. Siakam would have went first. Not necessarily because you have control over Siakam, where when it comes to Gary Trent and Fred VanVleet, you're probably losing them this offseason. That's why all the talks are with those two. Who do you predict to come loose in the buyout market this season? Who would you want for LA? See, that's a really good question. If I'm being honest, I haven't really looked at the landscape of like who do I think would get bought out. It's usually vets. Problem is, I don't know I don't know all the vets in their contracts right now. Once we get through the trade deadline, I was gonna start looking into that and start making videos about that. That was my goal. But you know, I don't know, like would Orlando buy out like Gary, like not Gary Harris, Terrence Ross, like that could be nice. I don't see like Houston buying out Eric Gordon when they were offered 4 second-round picks and said no, which is just lunacy. That GM should have been fired the second he said no. Like, yeah, that was an absolute miss. Tobias Harris trade, I'm not really feeling that. I don't even know how true that is. I haven't seen anybody like, granted, I've been doing this live stream, but like the only place that I've seen that report is from some person that tweeted it. I don't even know how credible they are. I haven't seen anybody reputable mention it. So I don't really know. But no, personally, I would not want Tobias Harris. What happened to, I got answered that already. What's going on, Austin? Hey, guys, apparently they're trying to get a third team involved, probably the Raptors. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to work out some type of 3-team deal. They're trying to get as many pieces, as much bang for their buck as possible. The Clippers want everybody. The Lakers want we the best team. Oh, of course. Hate us because they ain't us. Can't wait for Reeves to get back. I can't wait for Reeves to get back.
Right. Can't wait.
That'll be nice. BS, Max, and Austin are both overrated. Give them a package for they're not overrated. They're both extreme. Max Christie is 19 years old, rookie. And Austin Reeves is the
and can play defense better than some of the vets in our league.
What do you mean overrated? Fred VanVleet is shooting 40%. 40%. Okay? Like, man, go on. The Clippers want to win championship. They're that deep. They got all the wings to put on anyone, and they can shoot defend. The Clippers have a really nice roster. LA is good as much LeBron James and AD on the floor, but we need help defense. Let's make a trade for great help defense. Hopefully, I wouldn't mind that.
Specifically, exterior defense because we're good on the interior.
Perfect compliment is Durant and Portland. I would love to see Durant and Lillard together. Problem is Kevin Durant
would go hard.
Kevin Durant himself said he'll never go to Portland ever. He said it himself.
Why? Is it why?
Because they passed him over in the draft. So he was like, I'll never go to Portland. They drafted who was it? Greg Oden. Honestly, it's pretty good return. Kyrie, 2 good players in an unprotected first. I still think Lakers' offer was better, and that's from an unbiased point of view. I understand why they took that deal. Like, I don't think it's a terrible deal. Spencer Dinwiddie has a history with Brooklyn. He was really good in Brooklyn. A lot of people were actually a little surprised that they let him go. So I get the trade. Dorian Finney-Smith might be one of the best 3-and-D guys in the league. Like, he's just a solid rotation guy. And so I get it. It's just, I think even the Clippers package was better than that, though. Like, if you didn't want to trade him to the Lakers, and the one bright side of this whole thing was that he didn't go to the Clippers. So
yeah, because that would have stung. That would have stung.
That would have been terrible. But they did offer a better package. I mean, what was it? 2 first-round picks, 2 pick swaps in like 6 seconds or something insane like that. I think the Mavs think they can outscore anyone because of Luka and Kyrie, but that's how they're going to have to win games. They're going to have to outscore everyone because the defense is so bad. That's exactly how they're going to win games. So it's going to be interesting. I believe Dallas
solely on offense.
Yeah, I believe Dallas got Irving because Cuban watched what Dan Gilbert did, James first round with the Cavs. Now this is why we are going to go all in and get anyone we can. Dallas can't win it though. No way. Yeah, I don't see them winning it. I mean, they gotta definitely do something, right? They definitely have to do something. Is it possible Lakers can get Whiteside? I hope so. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is a free agent.
That would be nice.
If we get Fred VanVleet, how you feel about if we can't get Fred? Sorry, how would you feel about a lineup of Mike Conley, Trent Brown, AD, Vanderbilt defensively? That would be really good. Also, Conley, underrated defender who can shoot and play make. Dude, I would absolutely love that.
I like Conley.
That would be amazing to me. If we could get Gary Trent, like if we could do the Utah deal if it really is for one first, and then go get
Yeah.
Gary Trent with the other first, I think that would be amazing. I think you'd be great defensively, great offensively.
Our
You got
scoring output would be crazy though.
Oh, we'd be really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Mike Conley is a great 3-point shooter. His assist to turnover ratio is like one of the best in like league history. Like
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. But before we get into more chat questions, I want to talk to you about some like the plan Bs. So we got a report earlier today. Made a video about it over on my channel as it stands Lakers, and basically the Lakers are looking at either a Toronto Raptors deal or a Utah Jazz deal.
Yeah.
Those are the two deals that make a lot of sense. Per Shams, the Utah deal would be Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, and Mike Conley for Russell Westbrook and one first round pick. Now, is there seconds? Sorry, is there seconds involved in that or whatever? Maybe,
Yeah.
not really sure. But it was reported that there would be at least one first involved and that they likely wouldn't have to give up both first. If that's the case, that is an incredible package for what we could get as far as like bang for your buck.
Mhm.
And it's about control. You'd have control over those guys for the next several seasons, which is good
Yeah.
too. But you'd still have your first, you still have Patrick Beverly, Lonnie Walker. So then you could go get like a Gary Trent, something like that. Otherwise, you could go get the Raptors trade, which would be Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr. Problem is that those two are probably going to take both your firsts. So my thinking is like, if you have these two deals on the table,
Yeah.
instead of giving up both firsts for Van Vliet and Gary Trent Jr., but you could get all the Utah guys for one first, I would rather go get the Utah guys for one first and get Gary Trent. Even if you can't get Gary Trent, like let's say they're like, look, you have to take Van Vliet and
Yeah.
Gary Trent both first. It's tough. Like if both deals were the same, like if you had to give up both first for both the Utah deal and the Raptors deal, then I'd probably do the Raptors deal because you get a young Gary Trent, you get Fred VanVleet. Van Vliet and Mike Conley are kind of the same type of point guard in many ways. Mike Conley's just the savvy vet, solid defender, better turnover to assist ratio, better overall shooter. But like Fred VanVleet is like, not that far off, right?
Yeah.
So I do think they both complement LeBron the same way. But if it's two firsts for Gary Trent and Fred VanVleet or one first for Conley, Beasley, and Vanderbilt, you do the one first for Conley, Beasley, and Vanderbilt, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts, real quick? Which package, which deal would you rather do?
Yeah.
Would you like a combination of all three? And how are you structured?
No, I honestly I like the Raptors deal. I think it makes a little bit of more sense. I think we get more scoring output in that deal. And I don't know. The Utah deal, I feel like it's kind of like the Hornets deal in so many ways. We get a few good pieces for the next few years. So no, I like the Raptors deal. I think we could go a lot further with Trent and Van Vliet. And I think with that too, I think we would be able to kind of spread out the floor more. And we wouldn't have to necessarily worry about the fit of everybody like fitting in. So no, I'm going Toronto. Yeah, I'll go the Raptors deal. I think that's a better fit if we can get that deal done. Yeah, no, I think that would be a far better deal.
Yeah. Um,
Especially if we're giving up two first.
yeah. That to me, that's what it boils down to. Is like which of the deals are the cheapest of the two, and which one gets you the most return. In my opinion, like what's the best bang for your buck is kind of my thoughts. Um, I still wouldn't mind the Hornets trade. Um,
Yeah,
I really think two things happen. I think either A, it's a simple move where it's just like Gary Trent for Walker, Beverly, and a first,
Yeah.
something simple like that, or it's going to be like a huge, like 5 or 6 player return. Whether it's like a 3 team with like the Jazz and the Spurs, or the Jazz and the Hornets, or maybe the Jazz and the Raptors, or whatever. I think we're either going to get like a almost a roster rehaul, or it's going to be a very simple move, like get Gary Trent. He's young enough to be a piece now and the future, and that's it. I kind of think that's what I think. Either the Lakers make several moves to get to get several pieces,
Yeah.
or it's just going to be like a one play. Like I don't think it's going to be, which I wouldn't mind, but I really don't think it's going to be Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent. I think it's either Gary Trent and the Utah deal, or the Utah deal and the Spurs deal, or the Spurs and the Hornets deal, or the Spurs and Gary Trent. Like my guess is that's probably how they go about it. I think because all the reports still say that they want to move off of they still want to move off of Patrick Beverly and Lonnie Walker, and they're willing to find a deal for Russ. And I think at this point you almost have to trade Russell Westbrook. You almost
Really?
have to. Yeah, because he's not going to stay. I mean, all you've done this entire time that he's been here is try to trade him, no matter what he's done. Um, and I mean, look, you tried to trade him for Kyrie Irving, but you've also tried to trade him for Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, talking about a Utah deal, talking about this deal, that deal, and the other. And Russ is probably looking at that and going, I'm better than Mike Conley, Beasley, and Vanderbilt. I'm better than Fred VanVleet. I'm better than Kyrie Irving. Whether that's true or not, I guarantee you he believes it.
I would be a little. I understand business is business, and with the NBA, that's just how the association works. You could be in this team. If you're not a solidified piece, one day you could be on this team, and one day you could be on that team. But if I'm Russ, I would be a little offended just because, like, look, I'm Mr. Triple Double. I know what I bring to this team. Potentially 6 man of the year. Like, I would be a little appalled at the audacity that they're trying to shit me off all year. I do agree with you. He's gone after the season, but do I want to see
yeah,
this? Do I want to see what do I just at least want to see what kind of run they would have with him into the end of the year? Yeah, but I'm not like, hey, don't trade Russ at any means necessary. I think I still stand. Well, I think we both stand. Don't trade Russ for nothing, like because you're gonna end up regretting it at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I agree. He's not making it to the next season. He's not staying, and that's by his decision. There's no way he's gonna stay.
I don't think so. So I mean, if that's not going to happen, I think you got to trade him. But um, I want to hear from Jake and Tyler. So the question is, say we miss the play-in tournament and the playoffs, what do AD and LeBron do next summer? What do you think? What do you think they do?
I think they do exactly. I think they both say like LeBron's not going to announce retirement, and he's not going to go anywhere else. I don't think he's going to request for a trade, anything crazy like that. AD is going to stick around. I think LeBron and AD are going to stick, or are going to be on the Lakers, for the next 2-3 years, depending on what they do with AD. But we're not going to see any move from them, like as far as like switching teams or anything like that. I think now I will say this though. LeBron is ending the near end of his career, so I would say he's gonna put more pressure on the front office to say, hey, we need to make a deal. You got maybe 2 years, 3 years, maybe 3 years max with you left. I think he goes to the front office, sits down with Jeannie, sits down with Rob, and says, hey, this is what we got. What deals do we have on the table? Do whatever you need to do to make this happen so we can win at least another championship or maybe even two, right? I think he puts a lot of pressure on the front office. Like, I think we see the Lakers make a big, big, big move next year. Now, but that's the thing, though. Who's going to be available in the offseason? Like, see, if I'm LeBron, I'm like looking at the situation like, man, like, without, like, if we don't go and get Kyrie or something like that, like, I'm looking at the situation like, okay, I got 3 more years left, 2, 3 more years, whatever. Who is out there that can actually help me win another championship? That's exactly what I'm looking at. And then after that, I'm talking to the front office and I'm saying, hey, you guys need to go and make these moves. Whoever that is, do what you need to do. If you need to completely reconstruct our team, keep me, keep AD, keep the pieces that we can't trade, and just literally like scrub the team and go get me a championship contender roster. You got to do it. So that I'm telling you, next year we see a big move. but I just don't know what that looks like for LA. And AD, I think AD is going to stick around with LeBron because he knows that like they're close. They are close. They are very close. They're a piece or two away. Like realistically, they could win the championship now. Would it be hard in a 7-game series against that crazy Boston team? Yeah, but could we do it? Currently constructed with everybody healthy right now. Everybody healthy. I would bet. I'm not a betting man, but I would bet on that series. I would bet that the Lakers would. Now,
I
if you
mean,
add a piece or two to this team, then hey, we're there. But that's what I think. I think they stay. They stick around. We're not going to see any change, but like I said, you're going to see the Lakers make a big move next year.
I don't see them. I don't see LeBron going anywhere. Like, could he request a trade? Sure, but like, where's he gonna go? Like he's not gonna go to a rebuilding team. Um, any contender, he makes 50 million a year. How like what contender is gonna be able to gut their roster for LeBron and still be able to contend? And what package would make sense for the Lakers? Right? Like you're not gonna take on Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson just because LeBron wants to be traded. Like it's not happening. So it has to be a trade that makes sense for the Lakers, and it has to be a trade that makes sense for the team that's trading for LeBron. And so I just not really worried about LeBron leaving. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But we absolutely do need Vanderbilt because Thomas Bryant is garbage on defense to the point where Ham doesn't even play him most games lately. I think it's several reasons, but yeah, Jared Vanderbilt would help a lot in that department. It's going to be weird seeing Kyrie in the Western playoffs for once. I agree. It is. It's going to be very weird.
Yeah.
Let's hope we just somehow get lucky and the Nets move KD to the Lakers for Westbrook. If only. If only. Wake up. Kyrie and Luka going to give everyone problems in the playoffs, especially Kyrie. Like the Clippers going to have their hands full with Kyrie. I think Kyrie's definitely going to be a handful for most teams, but I don't really see them doing too much, if I'm being honest. Personally, that's just my thoughts. Yeah, there's talks about Jaylen Brown for Katie. Braun better be on the phone with Damian Lillard, right? I wish, if only. If only. I don't know how long LeBron is going to be patient with Lakers front office, like what trades are going to make a superstar happy. That's the thing. Like, obviously,
What's out there? That's
I think if you land Gary Trent, in the Utah deal, I think you're the best team in the league. Like,
just Gary Trent, not like. Well, you talking about Gary Trent and
Gary
Vanderbilt,
Trent
or
and the Utah deal.
Oh, sorry, Gary Trent and the Utah deal. So okay,
yeah, because now you're legit. Now you're like legit. Like, look, the Utah deal by itself is that you're talking about 3 guys that are better than almost every player on our team. So you immediately, like, if those 3 guys are coming off the bench, then you have 3. You actually have 3 like legit bench role guys, right? So you're talking about like just added depth, rotations, and then you get a guy in Gary Trent who can shoot from anywhere on the court and score at all 3 levels. I really think like if you do the Utah deal and you could get Gary Trent Jr., I really think you're one of the best teams in the league because you still have LeBron James, still have Anthony Davis. That's still the best duo in the league. You're the only duo that has 2 top 10 players. And then you have real depth. You have a savvy vet, Mike Conley, who's been there and has been to Western Conference Finals and has hit shots and has been a point guard and all that stuff. And there's always people that are like, oh, well, Mike Conley, he doesn't score a lot in the playoffs, stuff like that. Like, you don't need him to on this team, right? You need Mike Conley. Can you knock down an open 3? Yes, then perfect. That's all you need. So that's something else as well. But I want either the Mavs or Celtics to win the chip. You two probably hate the idea of Boston winning. I absolutely hate the idea of Boston winning. You can't win number 8. When we go up like 25-17 in chips, then I guess they could have it. But no, even then, no. I think the Lakers should get Austin Reeves all grown up. Yeah, go get Gordon Hayward. I'm telling you, Gordon Hayward would be nice. just the injury history. But he would be an add-on in the Hornets deal. Like he's not going to be the main piece.
Yeah,
He's the addition.
and he
Why do
probably
we?
comes off the bench. Probably.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal if he did. Why do we always roster problems? This crazy Lakers nation. It's the turnover. It's you get a guy like Russ, you don't really have much long-term stability. I love the Utah trade. Gives you flexibility in the lineup as well as flexibility with potential other moves since you only takes one first. Yes, and that's the key. That's the key. What's worse, AMC raising the ticket prices or waiting for the Lakers to make a deal? I'm joking. Great stuff as usual, sir. Keep it up. Thank you. Like and subscribe, folks. Scoop. Thank you so much. I didn't know AMC raised their ticket prices. That's pretty interesting. Yeah,
That
that's
I'm a
yeah,
big like movie buff, so that just made me really sad. I didn't know that, but that just made me really
yeah.
sad.
That's pretty interesting. But nonetheless, I mean, hey, that sucks. But yeah, waiting for the Lakers to make a deal is like waiting for the world's longest movie. Like it's just like and you're waiting for the plot to hit. You're just like, come on, let's go, come on, speed this along. I appreciate you, Scoop, and yes, thank you so very much. Yes, if you haven't, take a quick second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help us out. We're almost to 3K. Really appreciate it. We're 45 subscribers away. That would be awesome if we could hit 3K here over on this channel. That would be amazing. I know most of you are subscribed to my personal channel, but please help us out here. We do this channel together, so that would be awesome. Can we get major breaking news Lakers trade tomorrow? I want to feel good. I'm with you 100%. We need that. Let's get that. It's hard picking a team to root for because the Sonics were taken away from me. Hopefully, they may come back soon. I really think that Seattle's going to get a team within the next like five or so years. Damn, you guys seen the Tobias Harris 3-team trade? Boy, I'm going to see. Yeah, doesn't make any sense to me. I think we start to see trades late Wednesday. It's been real quiet. Everyone's working right now. Yeah, I mean, usually the last like day or two, we might even see like some small things start to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, once you get to tomorrow, then you basically have like a day and a half because the trade deadline's over on Thursday at like 12 noon. So, Lakers have told everyone that's called about AD to F off. Yeah, that's exactly what they've done, which they should. Put your money on what day the Lakers strike a deal. I'm not going to put money on it, but my guess is the day of. I would love to wake up to a deal tomorrow or something, but realistically, we're probably not going to do a deal till like the very day.
We have until Thursday. I'm gonna say Wednesday. Wednesday midday-ish. I feel like we get a trade.
That'd be nice. I wouldn't mind it. If they do multiple deals, then I think something gets done tomorrow or Wednesday. If we don't get anything tomorrow or Wednesday, then I think it's just going to be a straightforward deal. Whether it's the Utah deal or whether it's like Gary Trent. If the Lakers are working on multiple deals, I think one gets done ASAP, like tomorrow, and then they'll ramp up and okay, we got like a day and a half. Let's hurry up and then work out the other deal like before the deadline.
Yeah.
Missing out on Kyrie, kind of some, but Pelinka has to be working a nice deal behind the scenes. Yeah, I trust that they'll get something done. I really do. If we end up with the Jazz or Tobias trade season is over, I like the Jazz trade. I really do. Let's think about it. Rob is safe regardless. If he doesn't make a trade, he's safe because he got a new contract for a lot of years, so he's safe no matter what. Yeah, I don't see Genie. He's a yes man. They love yes. Genie loves them yes man. Jeannie needs to understand if she gets some good players for her first, she can trade them NAD for her first when the time comes. That's the thing too, is getting guys like Jared Vanderbilt will hold value. He's young enough and talented enough that and you're probably going to get these guys. Like great example was the Kyrie trade.
Yeah.
The reason we couldn't do the Kyrie trade is because we had no mid-tier level guys. Like if we had Jared Vanderbilt and Beasley, maybe that would have been enough to get there. I mean, I know Joe Tsai probably wouldn't have traded him to us regardless, but maybe it makes more sense now where they're like, oh man, Jared Vanderbilt defensively would be great. You get Beasley, who could be a good 3-point shooter. Maybe you throw in an Austin Reeves and your 2 firsts, and it's like now that deal is too good to pass up for them. Like that's the problem. We don't have it. Or if we didn't trade Russ, like let's say we had Kuzma and KCP and Montrezl Harrell. Like, could you take those? Would those 3 be enough? Where the Nets go, all right, like we have to give a first in almost every deal. Yeah. I could see us getting Cam Reddish. I still wouldn't mind Cam Reddish. I know a lot of people feel like, well, you got Rui, so why do you need Reddish? And my answer to that is you can't have too many young 6'8" guards or 6'8" wings. Like, why wouldn't you want that?
And the future, not to mention, we gotta start focusing on the future. Like people, like the days of LeBron and AD are slowly coming to an end.
Yeah, seriously. What about Westbrook to the Bulls for DeRozan, Caruso, and Drummond? I don't really like Drummond. Like that experiment didn't work too well last time. Caruso's not having a very good year, although maybe next to LeBron he could pick it back up in DeRozan. I wouldn't want to give up both first for that. I really don't, because DeRozan.
Were you mad about Caruso and Caruso left?
No, not at all. He wasn't worth the money. He wasn't, and he hasn't lived up to the contract yet. Like he's been okay.
Yeah.
But like the Lakers didn't need to pay $10 million a year for somebody that's okay. Like like it just.
I thought him and Reeves were essentially. It's weird. I thought like essentially the same player.
They are. They kind of are. Austin Reeves is a better Caruso.
No. I agree with you. But like looking at them now, I feel like Austin Reeves kind of developed into like if you put them side by side, they do the same thing. Like
if you would have paid Caruso right now, one, you probably wouldn't.
I like
wouldn't
Caruso,
have drafted Reeves. But two, even if you did, Caruso becomes expendable. Because like I said, Reeves is already better than Caruso, and he's like 10 years younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I wouldn't want to do it for both first, which is probably what it would cost. Hornets trade, whack AF. I would do it if we don't have to include me. That's the idea, though, is that you wouldn't have to because you're taking on Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward's multi-year deal. So basically, it'd just be a swap. Maybe give up like a couple seconds or something. I would use a first-round pick if we are acquiring a star in return. The problem is there aren't any stars, and you got to get better. You do. You got to get better. We won't get any great players unless we trade our top superstars. And is Jeannie going to do that? No, she's not, because her father made sure to keep stars happy. It's all about stars, baby. All about stars. If Rob doesn't do the Raptors trade, he's stupid. That's the best trade. I really like the Raptors trade. Like I said, I don't know if we'll be able to get Fred VanVleet, though. Like, Orlando really wants him badly, and they have more than enough to outbid us. Excuse me, I got to sneeze. Okay, never mind. I lied. But yeah, like the Orlando could easily outbid us.
They won't go anywhere though. Like if he goes to Orlando, they won't go. Like that's the thing with that Orlando piece of it. Yeah, they got all the.
Well, they don't really have like a point guard. They have like a bunch. They have like guys that are better, like almost shooting guards, like Cole Anthony and stuff. But like
they can put together taking that team anywhere unless they put, like you said, put together a really good team around him. No.
I also think the Clippers would give up more just to get VanVleet, so the Lakers don't get him. Like I do. Like I think the Lakers might do both first for Fred. Like let's say Lakers are like, okay, we'll give you Russell Westbrook and both first for Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent. Right? The Clippers could just go to Toronto and be like, we'll give you a first and 2 pick swaps just for Fred VanVleet. And then if you're Toronto, it makes no sense to why you've just got 2 more firsts or 3 more firsts.
Yeah.
So that's my problem. Who's always on NBA trade machine? Damn, I want a trade to happen already. I feel that Rui trade made me super excited because we haven't had one in a minute. I want to feel that again, especially if it's for a star. Agreed. I would love to get the feeling, the rush of like, oh, we just got, this. Savannah and the kids would never let LeBron leave California. I don't think so either. I'm with you, Christian. I don't think that would be a
thing. If we're being real, no, they're not leaving.
That's what I'm saying. He's not. I'm not worried about him going anywhere. If we don't do any trades next year, we have $30 to $35 million to sign plus first. But the only concern is the level will LeBron and AD be playing. The problem is we don't have 30 to 35 million. We'll probably have closer to like 12 million when all is said and done. Because you gotta, so Rui Hachimura has an $18 million cap hold. So right there, there's more than half of your money. And you're not going to renounce the rights to him, which means you're going to have to pay him immediately, which means now you don't. Lakers have probably, like I said, they probably have maybe 12 million in cap space right now, if that. Breaking news: Lakers didn't make a trade at the deadline, and will focus on the buyout market. That's my fear, Tristan. That really is my fear. Name some main soon-to-be free agents of 2023. That's the problem. Most of them are already re-signed. Like Miles Turner re-signed. I don't think James Harden's leaving and going to Lakers. You get like you could sign Gary Trent, Fred VanVleet in the offseason, but you're better off trading for them now because you'd get the bird rights, so you can get like rotation guys. There's not really much out there. If we do the Utah deal, I think Conley needs to start and Schroeder should be playing. Conley is rest, eliminate the small ball by having one small guard on the floor at once. I agree 100%. Dennis Schroeder's better as a backup.
Please don't start Schroeder over Conley. That would be weird.
Yeah. We need some breaking news. The Lakers made the Raptors trade. I am with you. Trade deadline is so exciting, man. You never know what you'll get. Exactly. I cannot wait. Third time watching you guys. Good on site. Well, thank you, Shane. We appreciate it. We do. We appreciate you. Raptors deal, please. I would love the Raptors deal. I'd be all for it. I do have my concerns about us acquiring Fred VanVleet, but if we can, then yeah, I am.
Is it just why? And I know you don't like it because the money he's at, the money you think that he would require, but
I'm not big on that. But I think you kind of have to. Is the thing. I mean, it's not really much else out there. I may be delusional, but I think KD will be a Laker on Thursday. I would love it. I don't want to call you delusional, but Lakers Nation said it to you. But yeah, if we get Vanderbilt, then we have another big that will take minutes from Thomas Bryant and Winning Gabriel. Yes, but here's the difference: is Thomas Bryant and Winning Gabriel are probably gone after this season, especially Thomas Bryant. Winning Gabriel we might be able to keep. Thomas Bryant we're probably losing. He's played himself into a good contract. And you can play Vanderbilt at 3, just defensively wise, defense wise. Kyrie wants revenge on Kyrie for leaving and teaming up with KD. Yeah, Caruso doesn't score of him. Yeah, I'm not really big on him. DeRozan is nice, but if we can get him for second picks with Russ, yeah. Is it at all possible if KD asks for a trade, can Lakers offer anything? KD not happy and wanted CP3 Suns trade. I mean, we can't. I mean, we could offer first. Like, we could match the salary and offer it first. But would we have a shot at getting him? No. I mean, almost every team can outbid us. And so I just, like, all it would take, like the Suns, for example, they could easily just say, we'll give you Ayton and Bridges, and that's better than anything we could give them. I mean, you can make an argument Bridges alone is better than anything we could give them. They're going to bring back Rui. They didn't trade for Rui to not bring him back. And he's a restricted free agent, so they could just sign him, match anything. If we do the Jazz deal and then go get Gary Trent, you think Trent will re-sign with us? Absolutely. Absolutely. The Lakers are going to trade for him, was it last year? And Gary Trent really wanted it. And supposedly, and he's a clutch client, all that stuff. Yeah, he will absolutely do it. The Lakers are, don't want to do that. The Lakers are 26th in the league in 3-point shooting percentage. Does that mean anything to you or no? It means we're really bad shooting the 3-ball.
I was about to say, that means we need some shooters on our team.
Yeah, I mean, we are 26th in the league, which is terrible. It is terrible. Here's the thing, though, is I don't think we need to be like a top 5 3-point shooting team to win a championship. The year we won the championship, we shot 34%. The Bucks, the following year when they won, they shot 35%. I'm not really worried about being like a top 10 3-point percentage. And not just that, like the percentage between like the 20th and like the 12th is like 0.01%. Like, so it's so marginal, but we definitely need to be better. Like right now, I don't think it would be a real struggle come playoffs. We got to get like 2 or 3 guys that can shoot.
And the beginning of the season was a lot worse. Like, it was a lot worse.
Absolutely. I'm with you. Don't let us down. When is AD a free agent? Tech 2 years from now. He has the same timeline as LeBron. Um, Magic trade Russ and a first round pick, Gary Trent, Bev Walker, Burks. Uh, I mean, I wouldn't mind going and getting Gary Trent. And thing is, like you'd have to get more than Gary Trent for that. Um, but oh, sorry, that's the League of Nation. Reeves, Trent, Burks, AD Braun, Dennis Harris, Ross, Rui, Bamba. This is as good as it gets. That'd be amazing if that could happen. I would absolutely be jumping for joy.
Absolutely.
Lake family, our organization star hunts. That's the problem. They absolutely do, and it is a problem. Yeah, I agree. And I even said it would be a fun and edge of my seat, like Barkley did. Yeah, trade deadline. The good thing about uh, Ben and Trent Jr. is that they both are consistent, unlike Schroeder and Pat Bev. I think you mean Van Vliet. Yeah, I agree with you. They would be great. No matter what Rob does, he still lied to us, and that's finna do the trade time after time. That's my problem. Is like just operate in silence, do what you got to do, and then just let us be happy when the end result happens. All right, last question, then we'll skate on out of here. If Lakers get Beasley and Trent, what happens to Brown, Reeves, and Christie? Seems like a logjam at shooting guard, but I guess it's better to have too many good guards than not enough. So we're probably going to lose Brown. Brown has played better than a vet minimum contract, and some team, because he's like 23, some team is probably going to give him some money. I'm not saying anything crazy, but they'll pay more than we would pay. So we probably lose Brown. Christie will keep. Reeves is 50-50 right now, regardless. He would have to take a pretty decent discount compared to like what he could probably get offered in the open market, regardless. Because we signed him with our early bird. So that's a big concern. But this season, as far as this season, Brown's played the three a lot. You can play Brown at the three a lot. Reeves, Christie probably falls out of the rotation entirely, which is fine. He's a 19-year-old rookie. Maybe he gets little, sparing minutes here and there kind of thing. But, in general, Reeves probably still gets some solid rotation minutes. Brown will probably get some solid rotation minutes. I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. I really don't. But, anyway, like I said, we're going to skate on out of here. Oh, Carrie, popping in. Thank you so much, Carrie. Really appreciate you. Hey, Carrie. But yeah, we're going to skate on out of here. We really do appreciate you all hanging out with us. Also, for those that aren't, for whatever reason, I know most, if not all of you are, I just put a link. That's my own personal YouTube channel. Jake doesn't have one yet. We got to get him one sooner or later. But for right now, this is our channel. Again, like the video if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. We really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 3K subs. We're almost there. We are 44 subscribers away. So take a second, hit that subscribe button. Also, for whatever reason you're not subscribed to my own personal channel, click that link on your way out and go subscribe there. Any last words before we
excited for the trade deadline? Can't wait till Thursday. Like I said, I think we make a trade Wednesday. But nevertheless, it's going to be something huge, and I can't wait to talk about it with all you guys. So.
Yeah. Appreciate it. But yeah, so again, everyone, thank you all so much. Hit that like button, hit that